A-C-K. Act.
Decoding is a word identification skill that allows readers to use the relationship between letters and sounds to recognize words in print. Readers use decoding skills to identify words when they read and to spell words when they write. Readers must be able to decode or identify words independently and rapidly in order to read fluently enough to understand what they read. It can be helpful to teach learners strategies for how to decode words they don't recognize when they see them in a sentence. You'll now see a tutor and a learner evaluating this strategy.
So you did a great job working out those new words in the sentences. And as you know, we've worked a lot on the phonics, like the actual sounds that you have to identify when you're trying to break down a word. But this is a little different. This is, once you're using those skills, then what can you do to further your ability to read on your own, right? So let's look at the strategy again and see how you did. Okay, so you were supposed to first try to say the word that you didn't recognize by sounding it out. This one, whacked, was one of those that you didn't really recognize. I think a lot of them you did, but I know that one you struggled a little with.
Yes.
So we'll use that as an example. And then you asked yourself, does that sound familiar? Did it sound familiar when you first
Not
sounded
at first,
it out?
no.
Okay.
But, yeah.
And you kept trying
Yes.
to revise what you were sounding out using the phonics skills
Yes.
you have, but it still didn't quite sound familiar. And you weren't sure the next step, do I know this word?
Right.
What was going through your mind?
I'd never seen that word before.
Okay, so there you go. So you really didn't have much to go on except for what you know about those sounds as you were trying to break them down. Then the next step I saw you do this is to read the word in the sentence and see if it makes sense. So you did, even if you weren't sure you were pronouncing it right. And once you got to the end of the sentence, you realized what it meant.
Yes. Yes.
So do you feel like that's a strategy you could use on your own?
Yes.
And that it helped?
Yes, very much so.
Another one was here when you read Jack's snack lacks water, and that looks like a word you know.
Yeah.
You know snack.
Yes.
Because we love snacks, right? Okay, another one that we thought was kind of funny and still is, and it looks weird to me still to this day, is this one, knack.
Knack.
Now, do you know what knack means in this sentence?
You have a knack for fixing cars. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I have a knack of cleaning.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I
something
love
you're
it.
good at.
Yeah,
Something
that I
you
like.
have ability to do.
Yes,
Yeah, and
yes.
sometimes a little edge on
Yes.
other people.
Uh-huh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a knack.
Yeah.
So that's strange because it has that silent K at the beginning of the word. You probably read it without
Yeah.
even knowing it was silent, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Knack.
All right. So going back
Wow.
to this, do you feel like those steps are things you can remember or start to become more automatic about using as a strategy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you kind of already do it, but now
Yeah.
that you know it as an actual process that you can use to step yourself through a hard word.
Yes. Because today I was writing in my book again, and there were some words I didn't recognize right away. And now looking at this, I'm going to go back to that book.
Oh, that's awesome. That was your homework words? Oh, because
Yes,
those were already
indeed.
broken down for you.
But it was the third page. I was doing that this morning and while I was waiting on us to come in here, and it was some words I just didn't know. And now looking at this, I'm going to go back and tackle them words.
Okay, awesome.
You can help your learner decode unfamiliar words while reading independently by practicing the step-by-step decoding strategy you've just seen. Number 1, try to say the word you don't recognize by sounding it out. Number 2, ask yourself these questions. Does the word I said sound familiar? Do I know this word? Number 3, read the word in the sentence and see if it makes sense. You've seen a tutor do quite a bit of talking when explaining a new strategy. During most lessons, you and your learner would be equally talkative.